Welcome back to AFT Die Season 9. It is round 10, Friday, the 6th of June, 2025. Match of the round is Geelong versus Fremantle down at GMHBA Stadium. It is third versus fourth on the table. All right, let's get stuck into it. It's Port Adelaide versus Western Bulldogs at Adelaide Oval. Let's go to the first quarter of this match. We've got Port Adelaide in the 8. Western Bulldogs, they won last week against the Magpies and got off the bottom of the ladder. All right, first quarter's done. We've got the Western Bulldogs kicking 6 goals, 1 to Port Adelaide 5-6. It is 1 point the difference to Western Bulldogs. High scoring, 11 goals in the first quarter. Second quarter underway. And the Western Bulldogs have kicked 5 goals, 5 to Port Adelaide 3-4. And at halftime, Western Bulldogs are up by 14 points, 72-58. They've got a bit of confidence from beating Collingwood last round. Let's go to the second half of this game. Can the Western Bulldogs continue on? All right, Western Bulldogs, they've kicked 6 goals, 3 to Port Adelaide 5-5. And it is 18 points the difference. Western Bulldogs weigh 111-93. Let's go to the last quarter to see who wins this game. Can the Western Bulldogs win 2 in a row and move further up the ladder? And yes, they can. The Western Bulldogs, they kicked 1-1 to Port Adelaide 2-3 in the last quarter. Western Bulldogs won by 10 points. Final score, Western Bulldogs 18-10, 118 to Port Adelaide, 15-18, 108. All right. Well, that's put Western Bulldogs in third last, Richmond second last. All right, let's go to the next game. It is GWS Giants versus Essendon at Giant Stadium. The Giants need a win. Essendon are 7 wins, second on the ladder. First quarter's done. We've got the Giants. They've kicked 2-3 to Essendon 1-4. And the Giants are winning by 5 points. Let's go to the second quarter on this game. Second quarter completed. We've got the Bombers. They've kicked 5-4 to Giants 2-4. And at halftime, the Bombers are up by 13 points, 44-31. Second half underway. Third quarter nearly completed. And the third quarter's completed. The Bombers have kicked 2-3 to the Giants 1-1. And it is 21 points of difference to the Bombers, 59-38. Low scoring in this game. Can the Giants get over the line, or can the Bombers have 8 wins on the ladder? All right, so the Bombers have won by 18 points. They kicked 1-1 to the Giants 1-4 in that last quarter. Final score, Giants 6-12-48 to the Bombers 9-12-66. All right, let's go to the next game. It is Hawthorn versus Richmond at Marvel Stadium. First quarter underway. Can Richmond get a win? They've kicked 6 goals, 6 to Hawthorn 6-3. And at quarter time, Richmond are up by 3 points, 42-39. Second quarter underway in this game. Second quarter nearly completed. And it is completed. Hawthorn have kicked 1-5 to Richmond 1-1. And at halftime, Hawthorn are up by 1 point, 50-49. Let's go to the third quarter in this game. Third quarter underway. And the siren's gone for the third quarter completion. And Hawthorn have kicked 5-4 to Richmond 6-2. And at three-quarter time, Richmond are up by 3 points, 87-84. Final quarter underway in this game, and the siren's gone, and Richmond have won by 13 points. Final score, Hawthorn 15-17, 107 to Richmond 18-12, 120. So that gives Richmond 4 wins and Hawthorn are on the same amount of wins as Richmond. But Richmond's got a worst percentage. Next game, Melbourne versus West Coast Eagles at the MCG. We've got Melbourne kicking 6-6 to West Coast 5-2 in that first quarter. 10 points of difference Melbourne's way, 42-32. And the second quarter has completed, and Melbourne have won it by 1 point. They've kicked 4-5 to 4-4. And at half time, West Coast Eagles are losing by 11 points, 60-71 at half time. Third quarter underway. Round 11. And we've got Melbourne kicking 5 goals, 1 after half time to West Coast, 1-4. And it is 32 points of difference to Melbourne. So they might get their 6th win of the season. Last quarter, the siren's gone, and Melbourne, they've gone on with it. They've kicked 5-6. They've kicked 10 goals in the second half to West Coast, only 2 goals. And Melbourne won by 10 goals, 60 points. Melbourne, 2018, 138 to West Coast, 11-12, 78. So that puts Melbourne in the top 4. All right, next game, North Melbourne versus Carlton at Marvel Stadium. We've got North Melbourne third last, Carlton in 12th. First quarter's done. Carlton have kicked 6 goals, 1 to North Melbourne 2-2 in the first quarter. So Carlton are up by 23 points, 37-14. Second quarter nearly completed, and the siren's gone. And North Melbourne have won the quarter by end. Okay, we've got North Melbourne there, 53 to Carlton 83. So Carlton are leading by 30 points. Let's go to the last quarter in this game. And the last quarter has completed, and Carlton have won by 19 points. North Melbourne 13-17, 95 to Carlton 18-6, 114. So that puts Carlton in the top 8. North Melbourne are third last still. Western Bulldogs are still in second last. All right, let's go to the next game. It is a match of the round. It's Collingwood versus St Kilda. Well, no, that wasn't match of the round. It was Geelong versus Fremantle. So Collingwood versus St Kilda at the MCG. We've got St Kilda kicking 5 goals, 4 to Collingwood 3-5. Quarter time, we've got St Kilda up by 11 points. St Kilda are going for their 9th win of the season. We've got St Kilda kicking 5 goals, 4 to Collingwood 2-5 in that second quarter. At half time, St Kilda are up by 28 points, 68-40. Let's go to the second half of this game. Second half has completed, and we've got Collingwood kicking 3 goals, 5 to St Kilda 2-2. And it is 19 points the difference. St Kilda's way, 82-63. Let's go to the last quarter of this game. Can St Kilda get over the line, or can Collingwood come back and win? And in the end, St Kilda have won by 26 points. Their final score, 18-13, 121 to Collingwood, 13-17, 95. All right, let's go to the match of the round. It's Geelong versus Fremantle. Let's go to the first quarter of this game. First quarter has completed. Geelong have kicked 1-4 to Fremantle 1-2. Geelong are in front by 2 points. Second quarter underway. And Fremantle have kicked 6 goals, 1 to Geelong, 3 goals, 3 at half time. Fremantle are up by 14 points, 45 to 31. Third quarter underway. It's completed, and we've got Fremantle. They've kicked 4 goals, 6 to Geelong, 1-3. And at three-quarter time, Fremantle are up by 35 points against Geelong, 75 to 40. Final quarter's underway. We're waiting for the siren, and the siren's gone, and Fremantle have won by 43 points against Geelong. They won the last quarter. So the final score, Geelong 8-14-62 to Fremantle 15-15, 105. And that puts Fremantle in third position. Geelong outside the top 4 now. All right, let's go to the next game. It is Adelaide versus Sydney at Adelaide Oval. Let's go to the first quarter of this match. Adelaide are on the bottom of the ladder. They need another win to try and get off the bottom of the ladder. So Sydney, they've kicked 2 goals, 2 to Adelaide, 1-3. And it is 5 points of difference to Sydney, 14 to 9. Second quarter has been completed, and Sydney have kicked 6 goals, 1 to Adelaide, 1-2. And at half time, Sydney are leading by 34 points. Let's go to the second half of this game. Can Adelaide come back? No, Sydney have won the quarter. They've kicked 1-5, Adelaide 1-3. And it is 36 points the difference. Sydney's way, 62 to 26. Last quarter underway. And the final siren's gone. And Sydney have won by 43 points. They kicked 5 goals, 1 to Adelaide, 3-6 in that last quarter. Adelaide final score 6-14, 50 to Sydney, 14-9, 93. All right, let's go to the last game of the round. It's Q Clash. Gold Coast versus Brisbane at Metricon Stadium. Round 10's nearly completed. First quarter's gone, and Brisbane, they've kicked 2 goals, 6 to Gold Coast, 1-4. Let's go to the second quarter of this game. Second quarter nearly completed. And it's completed, and we've got Gold Coast. They've kicked 3 goals, 6 to Brisbane, 1-6 in that second quarter. And at halftime, Gold Coast are leading by 4 points, 34 to 30. Let's go to the third quarter of this game. And Brisbane have kicked 6 goals, 4 to Gold Coast, 4-5, and it's 7 points the difference at three-quarter time. Brisbane in front, 70 to 63. Last quarter underway. And Brisbane have won this game by 14 points. They won the last quarter, kicked 5 goals, 5 to Gold Coast, 4-4. So final score, Gold Coast 12-19, 91 to Brisbane 14-21, 105. A lot of points scored in that game, and it puts Brisbane in the top 4 on 6 wins, 4 losses. They've won 2 in a row. Essendon have got the biggest winning streak of 7. St Kilda on top of 1-3. Fremantle 1-3. And then we've got Carlton and Western Bulldogs have won 2 games in a row. Well, that concludes round 10, AFT Dice Season 9, Friday the 6th of June, 2025. We'll see you next time.